Maybe it's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen's copywritten, so it's like you can't actually use that intellectual property.
He has Seth Rogen has a fucking what's it called when you trademark? Seth Rogen trademarked his laugh.
Hello and welcome. My name is Alex Gonzalez. With me today is my good old friend Jay Yee.
Hey, that's me.
And please remember that we are not game devs. I almost tried to use my name as a basis of yours, and I was about to be like Jay Yander and Yeezalis.
Oh, like how they
too
do
close
it on
to
Kinda
Yeezus.
Funny, where it's like, I don't know.
I was waiting for you. I thought you might be able.
I can't think of anything. Like
I thought you were gonna dig yourself out of that hole, and then I realized I just left you there. And please remember that we are not game devs. How's it going today, Jay?
Apparently, I have a lapse in my memory right now because I can't think of anything. The only thing that's coming to mind is when they name their kids, theoretical kids, something like Rimothy. Rimothy is the only thing that's coming to mind. I don't know if you know that bit. But
I don't. I actually, I just haven't really been about. I've been watching more or listening to more of the Kinda Funny podcast than I have of the Kinda Funny games content.
Sure.
Like I just don't know what Query is, and that was the last 2 episodes, and I'm like, I haven't even heard of this game, so I need to figure out.
Oh, dude, I want to play the Query so bad.
See, so it sounds. I figured if they did 2 whole episodes, it's a good game. But those are not the games that we are talking about today. Today we are creating something new. Every week on We Are Not Game Devs, we imagine a brand new game idea from our minds. Join in on the fun, be creative. And if you have your own unique idea or want to patch ours, write in to @poundgames@gmail.com. Today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 210th IP. Bring in the heat for the second time.
Recording check before you go in. Is it recording? I want to know now.
I already checked. Yeah, I've been checking throughout the episode. It is recording. So this is my idea. We're not going to be able to use this intellectual property, but I'm using it as a basis. We're making a tower defense game, but like Home Alone. So it's going to feel like you're playing Home Alone the movie, but it's going to be tower defense as there's these robbers trying to break into your home, and you're using different little kids' toys and kid traps to try to keep them from your house and keep them from your room ultimately.
So there's definitely going to have to be a comedic element, because why are these robbers repeatedly trying to rob this kid's home when they know this kid is in there? So it has to feel like Home Alone, where they eventually want to get at the kid. They're like,
I guess it doesn't have to have that premise. Okay, if we boil down the idea, right? The idea is I just want it to be tower defense, but kid themed, right? And centered around houses and based in real life.
Yeah.
Then we could go more.
I like the idea of the Home Alone thing. I just think it needs.
We could do kids against kids. Is what I'm saying.
No, I think the robber idea is cool. It's just maybe what it could be. The comedic aspect would be that no one knows it's going on, and it's repeated different robber groups where they just happen upon this rich kid's looking house. So he'll be like Richie Rich, right?
And they don't think anyone's there.
Yeah. And so it's not the same robbers. It's different robbers every time. And then they get their ass handed by this kid who just loves setting up traps in his giant mansion that his parents, for some reason, don't question what he's doing.
Now, I want there to be a couple cool things that you can do in this game as well. I want there to be a tree. So you have an upgrade tree where this kid gets different skills as you play. And those different skills will create different moves that you can use. Whether if you level up the technical skill tree, you can use more RC gadgets. And what else would be technical for a kid? Science experiments? No, maybe science is its own thing.
No, I think we could bunch them all up just to like make like 3 skill trees all be super robust. We could just combine a few things. I think another cool mechanic or aspect we could put in it. You know how most tower defense games, it's like the end goal where you don't want the people to get towards what you are defending is in one spot, right? And then everyone spirals to that one spot, 1 or 2 spots. In this game, I think it'd be cool if the tower defense aspect of it is these robbers are trying to first rob the house. And so there could be like a robbing house mechanic where they'll go from room to room. But also if they catch you, it's game over. And so it's like you have to physically move around to set up the traps and then like don't get caught. And if they come after you, you have traps set up where if they come after you, the traps will start triggering behind you as they trigger them.
So that's interesting. What if there's 2 different kinds of movement? There's like one where you can send the kid around the house. So you're zoomed out and you can point and click where a kid can go. And I guess that's how your building starts. And then when the round starts, you can either go to the safe place or you can kind of go around and build on the fly as well. But then that could have you run into damage or you could be distracted and can't build in another place.
So what happens if you go to the safe house and all your traps had failed and the robbers are just out loose? You would have to go out eventually, right?
They would get to your safe house and the game would be over, right? That's like the central location. So I figure once they get you there or get to the safe house, it's over. Because then you'd run out of health anyway.
Right. But I feel like maybe what it would be is there are a series of secret passages throughout the house. And it will kind of work like how in Clue, the board game, you know, if you go into the top corners, you could teleport to the other corner. Yeah. It'll be kind of like that, but around the house, there's a bunch of like secret entrances that will take you to the safe house. And then from the safe house, you could take other entrances and it'll take you to other parts of the house. And then that way you could travel around the house super quickly, set up traps, and then get out and then like, you know, be able to move around the house, set up traps and guard from
so it's like different. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. So it's going to be different teleporters to move around, and we can use those as like laundry chutes. And let's just say for some reason there's like a firefighter pole.
Yeah, but it's like a mansion, so I think it would be like bookcases or like
we could do bookcase secret passage. Oh, and one of those cupboard elevators you saw in all those kids movies, but I've never seen in actual homes ever. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Where it's either in really cool kids movies or really scary movies. Where whenever you get into the cupboard elevator and you're pulling yourself on that rope, scary shit happens in the in between.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we have poles, bookcase, cupboard elevator, laundry chutes,
fake paintings.
This game to be like Scooby-Doo. Fake painting. Okay. Those are good ones. We can use all of those. We wouldn't need much more than that. No, that wouldn't make sense. I was like water slide, but no. Okay. So he's able to move that way, or she. It's just a kid. You're going to choose a kid. You're going to be a generic kid. So it'll be, let's go something like where you get to choose rough stuff. Like you get to choose feminine, masculine, androgynous, and then customize your character, but it's just like you're swapping out palettes. Skin color palettes, hair palettes, super simple.
Kind of like how Sea of Thieves does it.
Right.
I know you don't know what I'm talking about. You've never seen the Sea of Thieves character creator, but it's
I
not a
have.
character creator. It's just a random rotating of characters.
Of different pirates of all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you regret it where you're like, I kind of missed the last guy. This other guy you gave me is ugly.
Oh yeah, I've had multiple where I'm like, okay, I like this person, and you could save up to 5 every refresh, and I'm like, but like, yeah, sometimes you just get really disgusting people, and I'm like, I don't want any of these.
So we're moving around. We got skill trees, and I kind of nailed down the skill tree. One's going to be animals. Hear me out. It's going to be traps where like you throw glue on them and then you throw bird seed and then squirrels and birds start attacking them. Or you like you let out dogs on them and stuff of that nature, right? To get them to be chased away. So that's the animal skill
just
tree.
like own a zoo inside his mansion.
I'm thinking dogs, squirrels, birds, cats, piranha fish.
His dad just has a piranha aquarium.
Right. Yeah, you're getting it now. You're
Sure.
on board.
Why not?
And then also, another classic 90s thing, the ant farm. Remember how every kid in the movies would have like this massive, intricate ant farm, and then they all happen to be attacking ants?
Yeah. Dude, I had
Okay.
an ant farm. I loved ants as a kid.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay. Ant farm, and then let's say tarantula.
Yeah. Snake.
And a snake. And a rat. See, you're getting it. This fucking animal.
Well, see,
tree?
those make more sense than birds. Just
right.
birds just flying in through
From the
windows
building.
and shit.
You're right.
like it's fucking did you ever get to the part in Ghost of Tsushima where there's like crow oni and they just throw crows at you like crazy? Those guys are the
I
worst.
beat Ghost of Tsushima. That was ridiculous because it doesn't knock you back. So if you try to block it, it's just you're getting hit.
Yeah.
So the technology skill tree, I'm thinking RC car, RC robot,
Fake lava explosions. Because you
lava
mentioned science.
explosion. No, that's gonna be in the science tree. Science, I think you want to do both, but then what's the other tree?
It would just be 3 trees. I don't know. Science.
Yeah, science, technology, animals. Right.
And
Okay.
just gadgets. Like I'm thinking
Technology
like
is
mouse
gadgets.
traps. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking technology is. So mouse trap.
Like just hammer and pulley and string.
Hammer and pulley, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a pulley, and then you attach something to the end, and
then
it just boom.
Science,
Marbles.
I'm thinking ice trap,
What's an ice
Or-
trap?
where
Like
you
you
spill
freeze.
water onto the floor and then you freeze it.
Like black ice type stuff.
Yeah. What else? Hairspray fire.
Just think about the movie now. In the movie, he puts an iron on a door handle. I don't know if this really happens in real life. And then the door handle gets really hot on the other side. And so the
Yeah.
dude touches it with his hand and then burns his hand.
That would do it, yeah. Magnifying glass fire. With science, also, I think sticky. Like get it where you make like a sticky substance that makes it so they can't walk or they lose their shoes. They get stuck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gadgets and technology, some type of grenade. Like that explodes, but not like I think like a shrapnel grenade with
Well, we
household
could do
stuff.
like a stink bomb or something like that.
That's better, and that's for science. We'll do stink bomb. Oh, for gadget and technology, a net, good old fashioned net.
Like the ones that like go up.
Yeah, so that you can just capture people. Right. And then distractions. In the technology, you can do FaceTime, where if they're about to get you, you'll appear on a different screen calling, and you can lure them over there. That's a great technology thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Should there be the old school from Home Alone cutouts? Make people think that you're at home.
Oh, yeah. You can do the cutouts. Yeah.
I don't know if you know how many times I've seen Home Alone. I've seen Home Alone a lot.
And then the technology, we can also do like sound and everything. Like you said, like the whole shooting, if you remember that scene.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's from 2. He did that to Tim Curry, the butler.
And then science. Bubble bath. You just turn a whole room into bubbles. Okay, cool. So you're running around, you're doing all this. Do you want there to be a story, or do you want there just to be levels with like a score?
I think there's levels, but there is a story going on where eventually maybe it becomes like the house robbers. You know how in like Ocean's 11 there's like the job. It's like their dream job. You get the crown jewels or something like that. Like eventually through home robbers like circles, this house has become you have to rob this house. If you could rob this house, you're the best house robber out there because there's this kid. This kid is busting more house robbers than anyone else has busted house robbers. And like after each level, it's like after you like lower the robber's health far enough and they're incapacitated all throughout the house, you call the police and they like come and like take them away. There's like a little scene with the police taking them away or whatever, and the kid getting like each time getting like an honorary medal for helping catching these house robbers.
So there's just a bunch of, so I can imagine in his room there's a bunch of photos of him with the medal and like busting other people.
Yeah. And I like the idea after each stage, the reason why you get more skills and unlockable gadgets and traps is because he gets more and more help from the police to be like, hey, if next time here's a few security cameras that you could like look through in the safe space to see where there are and stuff like that.
This is cool. Yeah. I think this will work. So it's like one of those, it's just like a fake universe where that's all happening. Okay. So I'm thinking with the different levels, it's going to have to be different house layouts, right?
I think it's the same house layouts, just you have more gadgets available to you, and the robbers will like use different ways to get in that they didn't use before. Like I think the first level is going to be super basic. They're just going to try the front door and then like take a very specific short path. Like they're not going to go throughout most of the house. Second level, they might try the back door if the front door doesn't work out for them. They might try the attic. They might try climbing up a window. Third time, I don't know, they'll do something else, or like they'll go through, there'll be like 4 robbers instead of just 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So maybe we should have it where in the beginning of the game, you're just doing the main house and then you slowly open up more and more. So for instance, like they can only come through the front door. Then the second round, they can come through the front and back door. Then all of a sudden they can come through the side door or the backyard or the second story.
So the way that I'm actually thinking about it, I think it's a little bit different than how you're thinking about it. Because in tower defense, there are like waves of enemies that come. I think in this, it is you just have 1 to 2, sometimes 4, maybe 6 robbers. And they're just one robber that you have to continuously like chop down their health, quote unquote, slowly by using these traps. So once they're in the house, they're in the house. You know what I mean? And you got to like keep setting traps up until you whittle their health down all the way, type of thing. And then like maybe by round 5, there's gonna be 4 robbers that you have to simultaneously like juggle, setting up traps for and stuff like that. And some will travel in pairs, some will travel singly. And you got to like take them all out one by one type of thing. Like that's how I imagine this to be. You know what I mean? Because if it's like Home Alone, it's just one pair of robbers trying to do the entire thing.
So another game mechanic that I was thinking about, do you want to make it where you can't see the robbers until they enter the home? And then even then, if you don't have gadgets necessarily in that part of the home or different things, then you're not going to be able to see them, right?
I
Or
think
do you
how we
want it to
could
be
do
where you
it.
can see the whole map the whole time?
I think how we could do it is there's the safe room where all the secret passages throughout the house all lead to. And in there are security cameras in certain areas, and you get more security cameras as more of the house gets unlocked for you each level. And you can see what's happening there. And if your traps go off, we could do like a little picture in picture somewhere that pops up and it lets you know that your trap went off. But if it went off successfully or if it completely missed, you'll see if it worked or not in the picture in picture. So like,
And what
we'll
would
have
be
like picture in
good
picture stuff.
is in that picture in picture too, if it doesn't work, there's just going to be dialogue each way where they're going to be like, haha, he's just a kid. We can get him. He doesn't even know how to set up these traps. Or whether it's just like, this kid's going to get charged with attempted murder kind of thing.
Yeah. There'll be little quips.
The reason I ask is in the trees, we can create different scouting things in each of the trees where in an animal, it's a parakeet, letting you sound off. Whereas in the gadget tree, you can actually have one-to-one video cameras. Maybe in science, it's going to be some kind of alarm system. I don't know. Or we can just have the cameras, and I guess everybody would love that anyway.
I mean,
So
I think there's other uses for like other technology stuff.
Yeah. But I think it would be an auto upgrade just to have the cameras.
Yeah.
I like where this is going so far. So we're having different houses, everything else. I think eventually, maybe the final level, there's going to be like the crime boss that send all these goons all the time or henchmen. I don't know if that's. But what would you do with the final boss? Like more health?
I think exactly the same thing. It's just going to be a bunch of different dudes, and maybe multiple come at different times instead of all just at once. So like,
or maybe some can dismantle traps.
Yeah. Or like at first you just get 2 on the final round. You're gonna be like, oh, just 2? That's weird. I thought that'd be easy. And then once you're like almost done with those 2, 3 more come in, and then 2 more come in, and then like one really heavy shot one comes in. That one's played by Macaulay Culkin, or however you say his name, himself. And it looks just like him. He walks in and he's like the ultimate boss that you have to be at the very end.
I feel like he'd be a sport with this.
He'd be a what?
I think he'd be a good sport with this.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like a cool dude just based off everything.
That I feel like he is. How do you say his name? Do you know how to say
Macaulay
his name?
Culkin.
Macaulay? Is Macaulay a common name?
No, Jay. He's the only one I've ever known in my entire life.
Do you think he's the only Macaulay?
No. I don't know enough to say whether he is or he's not, because it sounds in my mind kind of Irish. So what do you think about the way this game looks? I think it looks pretty damn good, but I almost want it to have, bear with me, like a Polar Express kind of look to it.
How do I see it actually kind of looking like
You better not say 2D.
In my head, the art style looks very like downplayed. Like in my head, it kind of looks like Donut County. Like very like there's like no shading. You know what I mean? All it's just
I want it
color.
to look nice. I actually want it to look shiny. You know how like not like awesome, but like how Deathloop looks shiny, or how Polar Express looks shiny, or how BioShock sometimes looks shiny. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where there's this kind of just light haze or going on where like there's just a sphere of light that everything's shining off of in each of the takes. You know what I'm talking about? I guess it looks warm. A warm palette. I know that's weird to say for BioShock, but
yeah.
Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Do you then maybe want it to look realistic and like kind of make it look
Slightly.
like have you seen any footage of Hot Wheels Unleashed where everything looks just plasticky?
Yeah, I was thinking somewhat like that, almost where, and I want their movements to be kind of not cute, but very deliberate, not puppet like. Like, I don't want it to go that far, but I want it to be like there's going to be personality and character to each of their movements. So it's going to be a little more exaggerated, but not anything crazy. I didn't want it to be that serious of a game where this kid's hauling ass, like sprinting, like fuck, 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 as he's like going into the elevator. I want it to be like he's going through the elevator, so it's like nice sound effects going up, like it all makes sense. Doesn't feel horror at all.
See, because it sounds like that. It to me, it has to look like
Donut County.
Not just Donut County. What's the other one that was coming to my mind that I feel like it could look like? Shit. It's not it. I had a game. I mean, Risk of Rain also works in my. Oh, The Sims. Like, it's just straight up The Sims.
A little bit better than The Sims.
Yeah. I mean, Sims 4 looks pretty decent, I think.
I want them to be, how do I put it? That's not the only, I don't want them to be that proportional that way. I want them to be a little chibi, but not chibi. So halfway between chibi and the Sims characters.
Okay. Then what if we make it kind of look like, I haven't played it, but I really want to. Kina and the something of spirits, Bridge of Spirits or something like that.
I was hoping that would get. I was really actually hoping that was going to be in the PlayStation Premium.
Same. I kind of really wanted that.
I was a little let down, but I didn't say anything because it's like, how can you complain? I think that's about where I want it to be. Yeah.
Or almost I know it's not supposed to be creepy, but kind of like how Little Nightmares looks, where it's like
but warm, but not too Tim Burton-y, where I don't want it to be straight up claymation where they're waddling.
Yeah, you don't want it to be creepy, but you want it to be weird, disproportional people with like big heads, but it doesn't look weird.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. All right. Now, this goes on to the music. The music here, I think I want there to be classical, and I want there to be a lot of xylophone, like ding dong dong dong. That was horrible, but you get it. And almost have an air of, not arrogance per se, but this kid has money, so there's going to be violin. You're going to experience that kind of classic feel.
Do you want it to sound like an opening credits scene from like a 90s movie, like The Goonies, where it's like, and it's like starring Macaulay Culkin. And then there's like a shot of a staircase and kids rolling down it, and co-starring blah blah blah.
Dang, yeah, that would be good. We could do that. I think that's a good way to go about it.
Or like
you made me miss Bob Saget, because I feel like he would have done it too.
The old school opening for Boy Meets World, the
I think, because now man, that'd be great. We'll do that. We'll go full into it. That way there'll be different episodes for the levels, right? Because then it will be like almost like a Scooby-Doo show.
Yeah, maybe it'll be a show about this kid. It's like a Richie Rich, but if Richie Rich was getting robbed every episode.
Where instead of them being like, fuck his money, they're like, no, for real. Let's take it. He's just a kid.
Do you remember what happens in Richie Rich? Doesn't his best friend or something like wish that he was Richie Rich, and Richie Rich becomes a nobody, and a friend of his becomes his parents' son, but an asshole?
Wow, no, I didn't remember that at all.
Did you watch Richie Rich?
I thought I did, but maybe not. I think the only thing for me is like why take his money when you could just have money too?
It's like that. It's like that other Disney movie, Blank Check. You ever watch that one?
I did watch that one just once.
Where this like CEO gives him a blank check. He's like, give it to your mother. She'll know what to put on there. And he's like, I'm just gonna go to the bank, put $1 million in, and see if they give it to me.
Dude, and you could bounce checks back in the day. You could straight up say there was money in that account and then there isn't. And then they would remember you and then they would do penalty. Could you imagine if you gave your debit card to somebody and they're like $600? You're like, I have that. And they're like, well, in 2 to 3 days, we'll know that you have that.
Yeah.
Goodbye. And then you're fine.
Purchase.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm never going to that store again.
Yeah. I'm never.
Or if they do, they're
again.
like, Jay, how dare you? You owe us $50 more this purchase. And you're like, okay.
Or not.
Oh yeah, and then you can just bounce it again.
Yeah. Remember when people took what is it? Credit? Put in my tabs. What was the point? Man. Why would you want to put it on your tab? You just have to pay it back later in a big, large sum.
Like, I could see that if, like, okay, let's say I'm single, but I earn a quarterly bonus at my job, and I go in and get, like, a pint every Friday. And then by the time the quarterly bonus hits, I go in and I say, here's $400, clear my tab. And then I'm just like, I never budget for it, but I'm always drinking beer.
But then your quarterly bonus is gone. It's
to beer, yeah.
Sure, I guess that's what it's for. If that's what you want your quarterly bonuses for, is your weekly pint at your pub,
right? As you're chilling out, maybe you talk to some friends, lead some more.
Dude, I miss the thing I miss most about suburbs are pubs. There's no I can't go to a sports bar once a week and they know who I am type of vibe. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist here in downtown LA.
And it does it here. Like, I could definitely become a regular. All right. Pricing. I'm paying $30 for this game.
I am also paying $30 for this game.
All right. Get your timer out, Jay, because we're going to name this game.
Let's do it. Go. Beware of dog.
Beware of what? Okay.
Because it's like a trespassing thing. You put that on. What you know when people put on their lawns, like, this is ADH
guarded
protected.
by ADT, yeah. I don't think we can say guarded by ADT.
Guarded by kid.
Guarded by kid.
Welcome home, robber.
Welcome home. That sounds like a 50s movie. Welcome home, robber. KID security.
Kid security?
But it's KID.
What does KID stand for?
I don't know. Kid. It just, do you remember that where they'd be like, where they would abbreviate things, but they actually wouldn't abbreviate it?
I don't know if I know what you mean.
I don't know. Okay. What if we reference the house?
Like what? House arrest?
Beautiful. House arrest.
He's not under house arrest.
No, but they are. They're
Okay.
getting arrested in his house.
1 minute and 54 seconds.
House arrest is a tower defense isometric fun game where you use traps. It's hard to describe, where you play as a child who uses traps to stop burglars in one of the most on the richest house on the street. Use
Hill. It's
science
probably on a hill.
On a hill, yeah. Use science to trap your enemies. Use animals to scare your enemies, or use technology to capture your enemies in nets in house arrest. I think, Jay, you could have described that game better.
Nah, I don't think so. You did it perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Jay. I think we got a game here. What do you think? Would this be a game you'd want to play, and is it fun?
I mean, this is probably dropping on PlayStation Extra. So
yeah, this is a Game Pass ass PlayStation Next or PlayStation Extra game for sure.
I'm definitely it's going to be part of my subscription service, and I'm going to play it there and then play it till it gets boring, I guess, and then put it down.
I'll play it during Christmas. Like if it drops during Christmas, and I think I would ride that wave with most other people, right?
Yeah.
All right, now that we've got a complete game, what game studio would you assign to be able to make House Arrest the best?
Devolver. They're not a developer, but they can
Devolver
help
Digital.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I would do Fire Axis Games, the people behind XCOM 2. I think if they were to design traps and different stuff going on at the same time in the game, in the level, and then show different parts, it would be really cool.
So Devolver does develop as well, because I looked up Hotline Miami, and they developed Hotline Miami.
I'm going to say another one, but it's going to be bad because it's going to change the whole game and the graphic style. Squanch Games.
It's going to be so different. A completely different game.
Ah, you bastard. You got trapped in my trap. As you go through the chute.
Dude, I want to play that new Squanch game so bad.
What kind of science is this? I bottled my farts for a whole year just for you. Smell it. Okay, what developer do you want to do?
Let's go with what the fuck is their name? Night School Studio, the people behind Oxenfree.
Oxenfree, you say, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, how about Studio MDHR, and this game just becomes beautiful.
What'd they do?
Cuphead.
Yo, I forgot Netflix bought Night School Studio.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's crazy.
There's a whole Netflix showcase I think that's going to happen.
Oh, probably. Maybe they'll announce the game that Night School Studio is making.
Maybe. For now, our 210th episode has gone gold. Look forward to this experience that will never release. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to give us extra support, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. For just $1, patrons receive episodes early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the end of that episode at the beginning of this one. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Like, rate, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your inner game critic and review House Arrest, the video game we just created today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is A.G.
And I'm J.E.
Thank you, and please remember that we are not game devs.
Return of the holiday DLC for Christmas. We give you the Home Alone house and the Home Alone original burglars. And
we could go beyond that if you wanted to. We could do Full House DLC where it occurs in the Full House house. We could do the Addams Family for Halloween.
Yeah. Just just famous homes, just homes that have become famous.
Kids fucking yeah.
What other
Almost
homes have become
Airbnb.
famous? I don't know if there's Smart House.
Smart House
You
or
played the Smart House.
oh shit, Encanto, Casita.
Oh yeah, that's a big one right now.
Burglars running through it.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
the house would just defend itself.
Antonio's Animals versus, yeah, I guess it would just defend itself.